It's my pleasure to stand here before you this morning as we honor the 1952 football team. This group of young men, have given so much to this great institution, both as student athletes and alums. Induction to the McPherson College Athletic Hall of Fame was established in 1999, and it is the highest honor that former Bulldog athletes can achieve. A selection committee consisting of current athletic department members, staff, alumni, friends, serve to recognize student athletes that have upheld the highest ideals of McPherson College through performance on the field, in the classroom, and in life following graduation. Not only must they have demonstrated accomplishments in athletics, but they must also have brought honor to the college. This team definitely has done that. To talk more about the accomplishments of this team and football in general, I give you our current head football coach, Pete Sturback.
The 1952 Bulldog football team was the first McPherson College football team to complete the season as undefeated KCAC champions and are still the only Bulldog program to end the season undefeated. They finished 6-0 against conference foes and were 8-0-1 overall, defeating their opponents by a combined score of 409-140. The one tie was against William Jewell. I tried to call their coach, see if we get those guys over here for a rematch, and they couldn't make it. You guys are all in better shape than they are, so I'm sure we're doing it. As a team, the Dogs gained 3,693 total yards of offense, averaging 410 per game, which is outstanding. The stout defense held their opponents to an average of 172 yards per contest and only gave up 1,554 yards for the entire season. Multiple records were broken by McPherson that year, including most points scored in a game with 75, which was done in the final game of the season against Friends. Something I wish we could have done this year. And I think the week before that they scored 73. I think it was against Bethany. Pretty remarkable. Following the season, 21 players on that team were named all-conference, which is phenomenal. I grew up with a dad as a high school football coach, head coach. I've grown up around football my whole life. And honoring the past is something that's really important to me. I knew about the 52 team right when I got hired in February. And so I'm very honored to be up here and to talk about these guys. Our players know about you guys. Our players are aware of what you guys have done. We went from 1952 to 2010 in between conference titles. And I hope and pray we don't go that long again. That's in our plan. We want to emulate what you guys have done. And our guys know about you. And so I think that's something I hope you appreciate that, because our guys appreciate you. And today we're practicing right before 11 o'clock. We'll get going. We'd love to invite you guys to come out and watch us practice. Unfortunately, we're not playing a game today. We scheduled a practice to be able to involve you guys. Come out and meet our players. They want to meet you. Even during practice, you can come down on the sideline if you want. But we want to be able to connect past and present. That's something that's very important to our program. Football, in my opinion, is the ultimate team sport, and what's really special about it is once you're done playing with the team you're on, it's hard to redo any of that. You can't go play a pickup game down the road. So everything you've done is kind of set in stone in the past, but you take it with you. And I guarantee over the past 60 years, you guys have thought about that season, often and called and talked to each other about it, and there's something so special about that. And I always try to tell our guys and give them perspective on where they're at in their lives and what they're doing while they're playing. That's the only time they do it. It's a really small part of your window, but it's such a significant one too. And that's another reason I really appreciate being able to be up here. You can't go pick up and play football and have it be the same. You can always come back and come together and talk about what it was like. In conclusion, Coach Quint, for their significant athletic accomplishments as student athletes at McPherson College, and having brought honor to the college through contributions to the profession and community, I hereby present the 1952 McPherson College football team for induction into the McPherson College Athletic Hall of Fame. Thank you.
Thank you Right now, I'd like to invite George Kime up here to give his remarks.
Get the short straw. Indeed, when I got a telephone call this past week to ask if I would try to make some remarks, obviously my wheels started turning and remembering all the events and activities. And last evening, Bob Wise and I were trying to compare notes and unbelievable memories that we had. But let me say, first of all, why did I come to McPherson College? We played on the championship. Wayne Blickenstaff and I were teammates in high school, Idaho. We won the state championship. We did not lose a varsity football, basketball, baseball, or golf match in our senior year in high school. The reason that obviously we were recruited by many in Idaho, now keep in mind there are only 6 large high schools large enough to play each other. The rest of them were playing 6-man football or 8-man football. So the competition wasn't all that great except in those 6 large schools in the state of Idaho. My dad was on the 1923 championship team of McPherson College. Cy Sargent and trying to think of some other individual on that, but I remember Cy particularly. And he was then, of course, went to Idaho to go into the meat packing business, and that's where I grew up, was in the state of Idaho in Nampa. I couldn't help but remember the thing that every time there was a summer camp in our church camp, anytime there was a McPherson College representative in Idaho, they stayed in my home. There wasn't any question in my parents' mind that I'd be going to McPherson. My dad and mom met here. She was from Oklahoma. He came here from Idaho to go to college. Met her. Of course, got married and went back to Idaho and started a meat packing business in Nampa. I often hear stories about Cy Sargent and the people here in the city and the support that the city gave to them during those years. I also remember when I was here, when the Cy Sargent, Paul Yoder, the K-Spear family. I worked as a part-time butcher at Dillon's after football season was over. And Ed Dalkey and Tom Crawford were good to me and took care of me and gave me a part-time job where I could earn some spending money to pay for my $8 an hour tuition. Times have changed. I was only getting $1.25 an hour butchering, but that at least helped with paying the tuition. But McPherson College has obviously given me the opportunity to grow and develop. We were joking about the games that we played and what did we. 60 years is a long time. But a lot of it came back last evening when we were talking about it. I couldn't help but remember the one game we tied. We were on a strict budget. Woody was trying to get us over there to play William and Jewell in Liberty, Missouri. And we couldn't take a bus because we didn't have the money to, Gordon Yoder wouldn't cough up the money to pay for a bus, so we were running cars. We were running late. Obviously traffic was bad then, and it's worse now, but it was bad at that time. And trying to get into Liberty to play William and Jewell, which was a powerhouse in that small division in the Missouri Conference. But we got separated, the cars. They had a police escort to lead us in, but the lead cars got through, but then other cars started feeding in, and we had trouble getting the entire team there. We did finally get there, and we were warming up down on the field, and then William and Jewell showed up. They came off the field, off the thing, came down, they came down, they came up, suited up. We must have had 38 or 40 players. They had at least 100 suited up. I couldn't believe the shell shock. They played single wing, and many of us remember how the thing. Bob Peel, bless his soul, was playing. One of his favorite things was he was defense. I was nose guard, and he was defensive end. He says one of the most exciting parts of the game was when the ball was snapped, he'd step across the line and see the interference going the other way. That was a tough game, and still memory, as the coach said here, you remember those type of things. And of course, the Ottawa game was another one that Woody and Coach Peters ended up going to SMU together. But the Ottawa game was another 40-47 game that I don't remember that one. The other one I remember vividly was the Friends game. That I was a guy, played offense and defense, but could never score. There's 70-some points we scored. 2 of the last 2 touchdowns was so I could score an extra point. They put me back in Eddie Ball's position and tried to give me the ball to get in the end zone, and they doubled up on me and wouldn't let me in the end zone. Finally did score 1 point in my college career. I can say that. I'm indebted to McPherson College for the opportunities to develop leadership skills. In my career, once I coached here for 2 years with Sid, then went back into the meatpacking business, which is what I was going to do, and I still with Bob. I coached here for 2 years as assistant coach in 3 sports, and for $2,200 a year, big salary. Kids asked me during my career, what was your first job and how much did you make? I said, $2,200 was my first job, working as an assistant coach at the college level. The memories of those days and the opportunities to develop skills and leadership skills helped me throughout my career. I ended up going from McPherson College to head football coach at Bridgewater College, a sister school in Virginia. I was there for 5 years and decided I wasn't going to be at New Rockne in Division III football. Decided to go back to graduate school and ended up in Fairfax County and ended my 30 years of coaching and teaching and school administration in the state of Virginia. But all that is go back to my memories and my opportunities for leadership opportunities that I had here as an undergraduate student and to work with the people that you met some of the people here, but the others that were mentioned, teammates, I'm indebted to the opportunities that they gave me for leadership development and the growth in which we all shared it. Again, thank you for the opportunity to share with you my few moments. I tried to pull together some things that are memory will keep spinning for years, and other things that I wish I would be able to remember. But again, it's been a pleasure to be here with you and share with you today. Thank you.
So this is really special for me in that I've grown close to several of you who are on this team who've been really supportive of me personally and professionally. And I would tell you that Ed France introduced me to a guy named Ernest Peterson in Wichita, Kansas. Ernest was on our board of trustees for many, many years, and he was, I think, number 171 as far as a CPA. Somebody can correct me if I'm wrong, but he was an early CPA in the state of Kansas. But he was a huge Bulldog sports fan. I mean, just huge. And I got to know Ernest about 10 years ago when I started working for the college. And my very first conversation I had with him, he sat me down in his living room, and he said, "You know how to run a small college, don't you?" And I said, I think so. He said, "There's 3 things: enrollment, endowment, and football." And you know what he was saying, what I learned he was saying is that sport and athletics runs deep at McPherson College. It runs really deep. And he would always mention, you know, how lucky we were to have Woodard here, and Art Ray, and Doris Kopic, some of the pioneers of athletics in the state, lifting up athletics in the entire state of Kansas, not just McPherson College. And he loved sport, and he loved it so much that when the Wichita Eagle wouldn't run a score, you could bet Sunday morning Ernest was calling me and asked me what was the score. And I would tell you that this is a really special time to have you on campus. As you know, we're not playing a football game today. And when I ran into one of you all out on the street, and you asked, if we were going to play, and I said no, we weren't. The answer was, well, sometimes there's things that are more important than football. And today, the important part is to be together and to lift up McPherson College and to be with our new coaches. I can't say enough about how incredible Coach and his coaching staff has been this fall. You'd be really proud to go through what we've gone through in your very first head coaching job is truly amazing. The way Pete's operated with class, and I think you're going to have a lot of fun spending time with our students today, and I think that's going to be a really special thing, not only for you all, but like Pete said, these guys really do. I know it's hard to believe, it's kind of hard to believe, but they do really think what you did was truly amazing. And when you all came back a few years ago, you'll remember when we hosted our very first playoff game, and most of you came back for that. Those kids remember that. They remember when you run into them on the street and say hi. They remember the calls and the emails and the cards and the personal notes that you send them to lift them up. We need you like we've never needed you in the history of McPherson College, and it's so special to have you back today. And I'd like to say that we're not only proud of the fact that you won that championship so many years ago, and it was in a lot of ways it was fun to sit in the stands with so many of you as we were playing that season on our way to what looked like to be our next conference championship, but all the amazing things that you've done as people, all the amazing things you've done as professionals for the organizations that you've been with, all the things you've done for your churches, and all the support you've given McPherson College. It's truly incredible, and it's pretty special to have you back here as a member of that championship football team. So enjoy your day. Can we get the team back up here? I'm a little selfish. I want a picture with you guys. So come on up. Bring your medals and come on. So congratulations, class of 1952 Hall of Fame inductees. Congratulations.